What? I didn't recognize
your destiny.
Story time. All right. Oh, yours is already up. So. Yeah. Oh no. No, that I normally do that unless it's a special stream. All right. Did you watch the other one yet? By any chance? Well, anyway. Yeah, I did link you to the YouTube one. I didn't know if you watched the VOD from the other day though. But anyway, let's Tuffymon just got done talking with a bunch of the gods. A divine revelation happened where he ended up taking the town. His hometown is now his because of divine right or something like that. So what he decided to do is go to the before he went home, he went to the castle to talk to the king. He went up, saw the guard there, and he's like, due to recent events, I need to talk to the king. I am apparently the new sovereign over the bunch of demon lands that I took away from the demons, and I need to talk about the town that I apparently got gifted to by the gods. Wait, you're the guy? You're Tuffymon? Yes, sir. You're the one that took out over 100,000 demons in one night? Something like that. He hollers out. He hollers back to the other guard. Run to the king and tell him that Tuffymon is here. He was needing to talk to him anyway. Well, that was quick. And then the guard pretty much started fanboying over him because of, how did you do it? I mean, I originally was only out there to take out as many people as I can with the skills I learned from my master. You have a master? Yes. The sword. Wait, you're the sword saint? And no wonder you could take out 100,000. Oh, there was a little bit. But basically, what happened was I went to go scout because I had a skill set that allowed me to get around unnoticed because of my weak class. I scouted out the army and I saw how big it actually was. There ain't no way in hell that our little bitty thing. So I decided just to attack until I could wipe out as many demons as I possibly can to either die or to leave, or until I absolutely had to. Um, there ain't no way around the battle, so I went out of the shadows and started using the skills that my. Did you say you were a villager? At the time, yeah. I kind of evolved shortly after that into something else, but I don't really want to get into that right now. That's a big old mess in a handbasket. But what are you now? A fine knight? The highest that you're a knight to the gods? Something like that. But apparently I'm a knight to a godling, which is a newly god that is still kind of weak on the totem pole. And I am apparently his knight or something like that. I don't know. It's all kind of confusing to me. But then the knight right or the a knight rushes in. The king would like to speak to you now, sir. He bows. Well, I hope you enjoy some of the stories. Keep in mind, I embellish a lot, he said with a laugh. The knight shakes his head. Come with me. As they walk into the castle, they look around and they see two big staircases wrapping around like that, and every like beautiful paintings surrounding in gold trim. The walls were all made out of this white and black material. He thinks that it's like a magical mix between mithril and titanium, but it looks amazing. Then as they started walking past the steps to go up there, he's like, aren't we supposed to go up to the audience room? Did I just follow me? Rude? The guy was about to pull out a sword. You don't want to do that. I am not gonna take any lip from a fucking villager. Not a villager anymore, you douche nozzle. Dude. And then he pretty much pushed out his presence. Tuffymon did, and made the knight kneel, like fall to his hands and knees, barely putting out anything. He hits down on him and it's like, I worked my tail off to get what I need to get. I worked my tail off to know what I need to know. Do not think of me as weak. Even while I was a villager, I was the sword saint's apprentice. No, just leave it up there for now. The sword saint, his eyes went wide under the hood. He tries to get up, but he forces a little trickle more power to make him lay directly down onto the ground. So, show me some motherfucking respect. I ain't asking for a whole lot. That's a little bit loud. Alright, that's better. I ain't asking for a whole lot. He pulled back in all of his power, even helped the knight up. The knight bowed. I'm sorry. Just, I haven't really heard many good things coming from all that. But I apologize. So I guess let's go see the king. We're already running late. Yeah, but right this way. And is there a reason why we're not going to the throne room? Yes, we're going to a private audience chamber that has silence magic all over it and some extra protections. Okay. They run straight, and you see this door. It was red with gold trimming and gold hardware. The knight put his hand into a certain spot of the door and twisted, and then the door finally came open. Follow me this way. Can we run it a little bit? Wasted a little bit of time there. Sure. Started keeping pace with the knight running. Why is in such a rush? That's classified at the moment. Okay. Weird much? Finally get to the door. It was a very black door with lightly maroon fixtures where the knight opened the door really quick, ran in and bowed to the king, and Tuffymon just started strolling in. He gave him a short bow. Like, I am Tuffymon. I really need to speak to you. Next thing he knows, uh, Beer started heading towards this way, and Knight on the ground stood up and actually caught Spearblade. The king, what are you doing, Otolis? Saving your ass, king. My king said with a growl. He is not somebody we can. He's. Uh, and then another presence hit the room that really hit the king hard. And the next thing you know, you see this shadow figure. I tell you one more time. Zach Fullbringer. You show him respect. Uh, yeah. Yes. Okay, I'm back. Um, unless you, he has the ability to wipe out your entire kingdom. Show him fucking respect. I mean, you still could, but anyway. And then the other present vanished with this girl in the corner of the room breathing heavily. King looked back at. This is who priestess in the was talking about? Yes, my king. Why, in God's name, is demanding so? Looked up. I mean, Tuffymon just kind of went into this and started tapping his foot. Okay, explain to me what your problem is, because I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why are you so pissed off at me? You take a town out of my territory. You take all the territory from the demon lands, and you expect a citizen of mine took and did not give my property, my gold, my mining solutions, my. And he started ratting on and on. It ain't like I meant for any of this to happen. It was kind of like, and anyway, you wouldn't even have set town if it wasn't for. Let me pick this up there. You wouldn't even have that town if it wasn't for me. There was a demon army that was tremendous in size that if would have gotten past set village. Well, it's more of a fortress now, but gritted his teeth. And another thing, it wasn't my decision. Your gods were the ones that demanded it. So excuse the hell out of me. Oh God, you really did. You excuse the hell out of me. So you brought me down to this chamber to. No, I brought you down to this chamber because I thought not even the gods could end up piercing the veil, but my dumbass brought a priestess because she demanded to be down here. She is my daughter, and apparently, without my knowledge, accepted to be a priestess for the 9/11. Actually, he said. Anyway, for the 11. Wait, 11? Anyway, I do not find it kind that one of my citizens, not a citizen anymore, took out a whole bunch of land and then was ripped away from me before I could even knew about it. Yeah, that kind of happens sometimes. Not really. I understand you're pissed about that, but you wouldn't even have the land if it wasn't for me. I ain't tried to toot my horn or anything, but holy shit, I killed a lot of fucking demons to keep that, keep my hometown from being a mud paste, and all my friends and stuff to being meat. So you really didn't lose anything. And another thing, I'm actually here to talk to you about that because even I find that to be a little bit unfair to a certain degree. I understand taking the lands that I took, but taking the other, is out of the question. Do you actually want to talk about everything, or do you want to be a little, or do you want to take the stupid path and separate all reflections towards me? Keep in mind that town is also, I can also make you a criminal to, I can also wipe out this entire nation. The king's eyes went wide. I don't want to. My master, this is his home. My friends in the hero party, this is their home. They've been fighting tooth and nail and blood and tooth, keeping this nation from being destroyed by the demons. It was a divine miracle I was able to stop that freaking army, which was endless, by the way. And also, there was like four demon generals in that army that died in the attack too. After I finally got a class change for breaking my own limits, which is which caused a whole nother set of problems, so I ain't going there. So why in God's name, when I'm coming to talk to you, the same person that actually saved your kingdom, and you're coming at me like I'm like one of the biggest, darkest evil creep on the freaking planet or something? Creep, King said softly. The priest, or his daughter, Zelia, um, walked up to the king and actually piss out of the back of his head. Why do you have to be so stubborn to the Godfather? They only want what's best for us. They normally stay out of our business. But shit like what you pull, he said with a, he looked down. Lord Tuffymon. He bowed towards him. The king got gritted his teeth. I'm sorry about my father. He had some bad dealings with the kingdom, or with the 10 divines. Or, I mean, 11 divines. I'm sorry. Don't mention it, and please don't mention the other thing. Okay. But I came down here to expressly keep him from doing something stupid. And also, we are all grateful for the work that you have done to keep the demons out. I know you've been fighting back and forth off the front line, even though that you were just a villager. And I didn't know that you had a. Oh, yes, I did. Never mind. Divine Knight. When he heard that, the king's eyes went like, how do you know about that? Well, divine revelation from the gods. I became a priestess, which I'm more of a, how can you say, a vessel priestess. I'm also excellent at, and also a healer, like one of the best healers in the nation. as well. Oh, very nice. Well, until you come along, that is. Don't, please don't go there. I'm figuring a lot of that stuff out. And how did you guys hear about all the demons and stuff already? When teleportation circles, there's a specific class that is meant to serve the king for relaying information quickly. And to especially on border towns, every town has this communicator guy that or girl that is able to talk back and forth between us and the capital. The hero party in the sword saint is already heading towards. And when did and I also did not realize you were the sword saint's apprentice. Yeah, that's how I got past the villager block, or one of the reasons why I was able to get past the villager block. I almost died on the battlefield that day, and shoot, I keep forgetting that it was only like a day or two ago, and that's felt like a couple thousand years. And the princess was like, so he looked back at the king. May I ask you a question, king? His eyes flickered. What? What happened between you and the gods that made you so bitter? He held his breath for a second and then breathed out slowly and replied softly, my wife, the queen, made the ultimate sacrifice to appease one of the gods to keep our country intact, to keep us protected, keep our daughters and our kids. And that was the first queen, by the way. He has one more now. But anyway, he had to give up everything. And it wasn't exactly what happened for that. Well, we was being bombarded from the demons that just started their marches, just poking our defenses. At the same time, the king of Zatar, wasn't they wiped out? Yes, they were because of the sword saint, actually. But anyway, and with everything hitting all at once, the queen knew if something didn't happen soon, we would all die. Oh, that's great. That's very convenient. But so they took her sacrifice and gave you guys the ability to fight back, but you weren't willing because you thought you could. Yes. Now my only freaking daughter from her left over there is also because I understood why mother did it. She was trying to save us all. So do not tell me otherwise. I cannot deal or understand. I mean, to be fair, the price wasn't worth it. And I understand your anger. Excuse me? To suffer, to suffer for what? A powerful being that's just a little bit, or well, a lot, to end somebody that important's life? And if I remember right, between my studies, the first queen was one of the greatest healers in the land. And they took her with, like, for nothing. That's kind of fucked up. King's eyes went wide. Ugh, way too fucked up. He looked over. You have every right to be pissed off about that. And I can understand why you took the device. But can we actually sit down and talk about this? Because I already came up with a plan that should suit us both. he, he sat down on a chair that was nearby that just appeared. Tuffymon flicked another chair out of his another two chairs. One right behind the princess, which made both of them. Biden was like, and a just a simple bench for him that he said, now, first of all, I really did not agree with a lot of the, but I also understand what I need. Two, this is my four goals, actually, before I, this is my four goals that I have with what I want to do. For one, I want to discuss the town, my hometown, and make it kind of a hub between both both of our nations. A hub? Why you gonna give me half of it? Like, no, I was planning on still paying, making sure that you guys get the same amount of taxes and stuff. Because I was from like, really? Which would also increased dramatically with the new species and stuff because of the new 11th god that brought came into this world would also bring riches for both of our nations. Second thing, I'm wanting to help with defenses of both our nations, meaning giving you weaponry and stuff slowly, and keep in mind, really slowly, protect the world. Three, the reason why the new godling is even here, and the new godling is also a planet guardian, if you know what that is, and is meant to protect this entire world from himself and others, which is the only reason why I got the lands to begin with. And the fourth reason, I'm still a citizen of this country. I didn't really put a whole lot of stock into God's doing things for us. Usually, they just try to screw up people's lives, said with gritted teeth. So, I understand. Even though the only reason why I'm here today is because of a God. But I ain't getting into that. Instead of treating this as a divine revelation, but treating this as more of a trade partnership that we can grow both of our nations dramatically and protect this planet when the threat beyond the stars he pointed up. His eyes went wide. And he's like, they're coming back already. Wow. His daughter looked down. Oh shit. I agree to your proposal, said reluctantly. Really? Yes.
You bested me, but only because you had the help of the.
But also, one other thing before you fully agree to it. Yeah, since you're already going to, I was going to let you know the stuff that you'll be getting out of the deal. Yes, you'll be getting taxes. Slowly you'll be getting different type of ranged weaponry that will greatly affect your. But I have to do it slowly so you guys can actually understand what you're doing without letting your own greed and stuff cause a world catastrophe. So I shook his head in approval, and I want to start training certain adventurers and stuff to actually start helping clear out some of the different dungeons and stuff so we can get some of the magic materials and stuff we would need to improve both of our nations. And the last thing, I want both of our nations to be able to be one of the strongest nations on the globe. Both nations together. But I have one condition. Like, what's the condition? You have to marry the first princess. I was like, Tuffymon's eyes went around. I was like, wait, what? Father! Here are my reasons, things, daughter, and to you. For one, for the type of relationship that you're wanting, we're gonna have to be a little bit more than just allies. We will be we'll be two rulers of both nations ruling together. The only way that's going to happen is if we actually have a marriage pact. Two, with her a divinity for the divine and the new god that is in both should be able to actually greatly affect one another. Three, he kinda has more than one taste, if you know my meaning. And because of that, a lot of the people from the capital didn't want to disgrace themselves over. That's kind of stupid. It's something that is done under the cover or looked away upon. Nobody actually suffers because of it, but being extremely open about it caused issues with some of the younger mobility and some of the things that she did before. Father. But anyway, with a bond like this, would greatly protect and honor both nations, and we can gradually. And the fourth reason, I'm actually originally not even from this world. Puffy looked his eye up. Did you come here by a ship, by a magical incident, or reborn like I was? Oh, a spaceship. Wait, excuse me? I didn't say anything. Big laugh for. No, I'm actually originally from a world named Earth. I was actually a soldier there, and I was reborn here as a stinking rotten villager. Even though it's a long story that I can't really get into. So, what's your story? We're from the. Yes, daughter, we're from. My part of the family was from the stars. Matter of fact, all the kings of this nation were still just me. It took a long time before I actually found a true lover, and we were pretending to bring up princelings until I switched roles. But anyway, so I have a pretty good idea that one of the empires or the emperor is probably attacking different, but after my failure, they just kept away from the sector. Even though I just crash landed because of a synchronized meteor storm. But and that same meteor storm accidentally turned me into a mole. That's also one of the reasons why my daughter here is also way older than what she looks like. Well done. So because of both of this, and because I know a lot of the different things from the, I have a strong distaste for the gods because you see them as just powerful beings and rulers and of Florida. Yeah, I think I may know a little bit more than you do, though. You probably do, and I may want to discuss that with you actually. But anyway, okay, so much as I'm reluctant to do this, I accept the offer. You do? Yes, but my condition about the marriage. I'm gonna actually have to get to know her a little bit before I actually get married to her. If that is okay with you. And either one of us can back out of the deal. No, I should say either one of us may be able, after being married, depending on if it's a real marriage or if it's a political marriage, which will depend on how we actually feel about each other at the time, will also depend on, yeah, we may take separate um lovers or something to that extent outside of the public eye, because I do not believe in um not I believe that love exists. I believe it exists for a reason. Defining the purpose of love is not something that I want to ever do. I agree to that proposal. And but so we'll set the for a year from today. That way gives us plenty enough time to actually get to know one another a little bit better. So understandable. And so meet me here in 11 months, despite our really meet me once every 3 months, and we can discuss different ways that we can strengthen the war, our nations. The world needs strengthening, not just us. But unknowns with technology or magics beyond the capabilities of the mind will only serve as a way of destruction. I couldn't say that better myself, the king said. And all revelations spoken here today are strictly confidential. He looks over at the soldiers that were still in the room. That means you soldiers, if you speak a word of any of this to anyone, you will die violently. I do not want to do this, but it's the only way we can actually keep unsavory things from coming to light that will cause problems beyond the storm. I don't agree with the message, but I agree with your proposal. Feel it? Well, I guess you're coming with me, princess. Can you just say my name, Sertilia? Yes, your majesty, Sertilia. He said us with a grin bowing. We're gonna have a great time. Now, let's go. I do need to buy a few things before we take off, though. Go ahead and get any preparation or anything you need to move down to my hometown. Wait, excuse me? I'm moving now before we get married? How in the world are we supposed to actually get to know each other if you're not around? Fine. Alright, just meet me at the front gate with everything you need tomorrow morning. Say it the day after tomorrow. Which, that, as he walks out slowly, and the general that was bringing him there walks down with him, he pulls out a sword from his inventory and hands it to, it was a weird looking blade. And he's like, what exactly? Press this button right here. And around the metal, there was a thin veil of light that kept rotating around and around. This is a superior blade. You don't need to pull unless you absolutely have to. It uses light magic to cut through just about anything known to man or dwarf. His eyes went wide. You stood up for me when you never had to. You kept the king from doing something stupid. You earned that. He bowed, and you. And as soon as he touched pop up in his vision, hey, it's bound to me. And then this little rune under his armor, you saw the light coming out of his gauntlet. And the sword disappeared into the room. And then on the pop up that he saw, the sword is bound. The sword of light is bound to you. It's a saber with the power of the sun. It is not fire based, but something else entirely. That you have a sword that's beyond most swords, but train with it well because it has a few very powerful ways. So keep that in mind, young one. and then the pop-up vanished. Thank you, sir. Protect the king at all costs. We all gotta get stronger before, but I think the invasion is going to happen. I agree. And then basically, after he walked out of the castle, the next few days he gathers up different supplies, iron, different types of metals that he wants to experiment with and stuff to create better weapons and use technology and magic. He knows a lot about different types of guns because of how many times he had to break down and remake nearly every weapon by heart. And is also one of the reasons why some of the memories broke through while making that stuff beforehand, learning how to make little pistols and stuff because of my great knowledge about from combat to everything else. It was basically like so. He gathered a few volunteer soldiers, like basically like peasants that were. He went to the poor town and a lot of recruited a lot of the homeless and a lot of the poor. He wanted to actually give them either work or actually train them on the newer weapons to bring the peace. And he gathered probably about 20,000 people, which, if you really think about it, the capital has probably over 20 million. So 20,000 really isn't a lot in the gold scheme of things. And a lot of the people, homeless people and stuff, didn't believe, but the ones that did, when the princess saw all the commoners and all the, what are they doing here? They're coming back with us to my home. We need guards, we need technicians, we need people that's gonna be able to fight. And I want to train this lot up to be able to do things beyond the norm. And I have a way of trusting, finding a way to trust people or not. And that's actually not that bad of a plan. I just hope I already sent him a message about it and he agrees, taking a lot of the poor, giving them something to truly do instead of in a place that's too small for the actual and whatnot. That's I understand. And they eventually take off. But that is a story for another time. Alright. I am basically just gonna go ahead and raid out. But I know who I'm gonna be raiding. Um, that's actually a really good color right there. But that guy right there is who. He's actually a way better streamer than I am. So, and normally never get a chance to actually rate him. So, there we go. 10, 9. Oh, I want to say a special thanks to all the people that helped me with artwork and helped me with my first few followers and stuff. Zarzak, Miho, the Green Mind Zone, Leafy the Alien Fox, and Oven Fried Dice. A lot of them has made either artwork or helped me out getting followers or a lot of help over the years. Also, a special shout out for Hyper Night Raven. He's actually popped into my stream nearly every stream at one time or another. So, peace out, everybody. I hope you enjoy Tuffymon. Deuces.
So no worrying, okay? Just for